Welcome to another round of recording the stories from the people that call City Church their home. And today, we have the privilege of hearing the story from Jordan and Sadie Ray Tipton. I am so excited to tell this story. And you guys are the kind of people that you always have a faith story going on. Yeah. So glad that we get to put some of it on tape and record it and use it to build the kingdom. So the attending church piece. So I put an ad on Facebook for a sprinkler. We had a sprinkler problem.
Yeah.
And Jordan's running a plumbing business.
Yeah, I get it.
And you scheduled him to come fix our sprinklers.
Yes.
That day, I mean, we were just chatting over sprinklers and you were using terms I don't know, like tool. What in that conversation was like, yeah, we're going to go to church?
Well, we've been looking for a church, like Sadie said earlier. Like we thought we were comparing something to a church that we had attended in New Mexico.
Okay.
Well, really, what we were looking for is the Holy Spirit present.
Oh.
And that was during the time of COVID, like right after COVID.
Yep.
And the whole world had stopped, and the whole world was starting to begin again.
Yeah.
So and then we were just. We were continually looking. We always wanted to find a community and a church that had the Holy Spirit. You know, Sadie got me to do some sprinklers for you, and the Holy Spirit was the Holy Spirit at work, and, and then even just the conversation having with Pastor, with you, and just, you know, I went home and told Sadie, like, we're going to church. So,
yeah, he said he found a church, and I think the thing that drew me in is it was the first Sunday you had moved into the arena. And I'm super protective of the kids. I don't want to put them with anyone else. I guess I have trust issues when it comes to the kids. And it was family day. And so was like, okay, I can agree to that because it's family day. And Katie showed up in that, and she really like welcomed me and welcomed the kids and really built that relationship. So by the time it was time to bring the kids into kids service, she built the trust that I know I can drop off my kids there. Yeah. And they'll be okay.
Right. Right. So what helped you say, okay, this is a community we're going to invest in?
I think we love helping. So Isaiah suckered us into helping set up, because we used to set up every Saturday night. We'd go set up every Saturday night, and Isaiah said he needed help, and then we just started showing up, and I think that's what really helped us. That's at least what got our foot started in the door and wanting to help.
Okay. Yeah, we were invited to serve, and then the community you build when you serve, especially at City Church, it's just next level. You get those relationships that you didn't know you were missing from your surface level Sunday morning, running by each other to catch the word.
Right. It's that word we're talking about, it's impact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sadie, you wrote in your story about a moment where you heard the Lord say to you that fear is not your future. Take us down that road a little bit. Yeah.
So we have 4 kids. Jeptha's our 4th kid. So running a business, having so many kids, it wasn't uncommon for me to go to doctor's appointments by myself. So when I was first pregnant with Jeptha, went to the first doctor's appointment, got the test. Every pregnancy has been so simple. Right. It's been so easy. My body did what it needed to do, got the kid, and we were done. And this time, the first time I went, they couldn't find the heartbeat. And then the second time, I was scheduled to go back a second time a week later, and they couldn't find the heartbeat again. And in that second time is when I heard that, fear is not my future. And Maverick City sings the song, fear is not my future, you are. So the song was playing in my head of like, yeah, fear is not my future. Wow. Can't have a grip on this. Through the can't find the heartbeat, what does that mean? No one wants to tell you. Mm-hmm. But also in that they want to be upfront as much as they can, so they don't always soften it. They're kind of like, well, you know, this could be no baby.
Right.
Went back the third time, found his heartbeat, and through all of that, just having the responsibility I guess I took on myself is to just hold on to that. Fear is not my future. It couldn't be anyone else's either. So when I told Jordan, like, it's okay, he's got this, you know, and my mom, it's okay, he's got this. are you scared? I would be asked, and I'm like, no, it's okay. He's got this. I'm
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I'm good.
In a concise way that a layman can understand, what were we faced with on Jeptha's birth?
So at the 30-week appointment, they did their last checkup to find out and just make sure everything with the baby was okay. They found out that I had high fluid around the baby, and it could have meant one of two things: just have high fluid, or the baby wasn't getting it. And so I saw a specialist, and the specialist, they would monitor him every single week, probably twice a week. And he had said, okay, well, the baby's stomach is not filling up, so there's something causing that. And he ordered an MRI. So he went over it, and he had esophageal atresia, which just meant his esophagus wasn't attached from the upper and the lower, so it was just hanging there. So it was obvious why his stomach wasn't filling up.
Right.
Jordan couldn't go. We were on a business, so my phone was dead.
Of course.
Yeah, my
it
phone
was.
was dead, and I went to this doctor's appointment, went in to the Zoom meeting with him, and he said, okay, this is what the baby has. It's good, they caught it. We'll have all the specialists on hand right when he's born. He'll be ready. He'll be transported more than likely, but they'll go more into detail with that. But because his heart rate keeps dipping, and they were having a hard time finding it, he moved so much because he was such a small baby and so much area in my stomach. He's like, I want you to go to the hospital and get hooked up to lead so we can monitor him longer. And so then got to the hospital, drove myself, finally got a hold of Jordan, let him know what was happening, and checked myself in. They hooked me up, Jordan showed up. And then it was kind of like, they almost treated it as like go time. At about 7, my sister brought us some dinner. And then we laid down like 9:30. All right, you're good, you're going to bed, we'll just monitor you, no big deal. Have to come in, keep moving it because Jeptha was moving so much. 9:39, they came in and said, just kidding, we're gonna prepare you to deliver him now.
So crazy. What a day that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just surreal.
Yeah, so.
And on top of that too, my grandmother, she was in the hospital.
She was struggling. I mean, I remember those days clearly, and she was battling esophagus cancer.
Yeah.
So Jeptha is born with needing esophagus healing. She is battling cancer in her esophagus.
Yeah. I remember visiting her, and she's suffering, miserable. I remember going there and praying for her, and she's asking me, like, she wants to be taken off life support. She said her time to go, ready to go. Right. They took her off it, and they told her that she'd be, no, she wouldn't be here anymore within a couple hours.
Right.
And she ended up surviving another 3 days.
Another 3 days. That was crazy.
Yeah.
But she was interceding for her great-grandson's esophagus.
Yeah.
So he's born, he immediately goes into surgery. You're bouncing between 3 hospitals.
Yeah.
Up to that point, your job hasn't been providing much of an income.
Right.
So you guys have taken cutting pay.
Yeah.
Dramatic cutting pay.
Yeah.
Medical bills are piling up. What happened there?
So I was actually laying there recovering also with Jeptha. We just 5 days in, the financial lady came in. She gave me a bill. It was a ton of money, and was like, all right, we need 20% down. Like, okay, well, I'm like recovering, and I don't even know where my wallet is. Like, there's no possible way,
Right.
let alone could I afford 20% of that. I just took a pay cut.
Right.
And she's like, well, I'm just gonna hand you this, and if you guys meet it, we can apply for access. And I'm like, there's no way we meet it. Like, I know we make too much money.
Yeah.
And then she gave us a number, and Jordan's like, wait a minute, we took a pay cut. She's like, well, how long ago? We told her we took a pay cut in February. He was born the end of March. She's like, that's plenty of time. You guys make not enough to support your 6-people family.
And it was only by a couple $100 or something like that.
Yeah, $200. And so we applied. I went down and I applied with the same lady who handed me the large bill. And she's like, all right, well, you'll be lucky if you hear back from him in 30 days. And it was 4 days later, I got a call from the insurance. They're like, all right, it's been approved. Like, they didn't need any of the information she said I would need. They didn't ask for birth certificate, which they need. They didn't ask for Social Security, which I didn't have. Like, Nothing. They didn't need it. It was accepted. So instantly they backdated it to when I became high risk. And they covered everything. They covered all the process for that whole time.
So this is hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands.
Oh, yeah.
But you'd taken your pay cut, God set you up front,
Yeah.
and what a miracle.
It's
Yeah.
a miracle.
Here's a little guy back too.
So here's the star. Look at him smile. 2-minute update. How's he doing? What's going on in his life?
He had his last scheduled procedure on, I guess, the end of January, and he's on an as-needed basis, so he's healed. It went faster than expected or planned or could have even imagined, and he's a normal baby. You would never know. You would never know if I didn't tell you. Nothing's gonna hold him back.
No. No, this is a miracle right here, and this is the picture of why we have a kids ministry, for miracles and for them to know Jesus and to grow up with a heritage and a family.
Yeah.
And I guess I will just say now before we close, to anyone that watches this, if they're walking through that premature medical fear of a child,
Yeah.
I would ask them to reach out to you guys.
Yeah, be vulnerable and know
I
that we're
hope they
here.
will.
I would welcome them with open arms.
Yeah.
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 It shouldn't be hard to find community
No.
in a church.
No.
So
You can always look for us. We'll be your community.
thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.